What's up guys, Dan here, and we are back with the APA Showdown League. We haven't uploaded Showdown in a while. We haven't really uploaded videos in a while, except for, well, depending on when this goes up, Saturday. We haven't uploaded much since Saturday, and we've kind of been catching up. I've been very busy, so I'm catching up on stuff now. This is our week 4 APA Showdown battle against Jock, our Scottish acquaintance. And his team is pretty scary. He's got Mantine, Groudon, Tapu Koko, Heracross, Licky Licky, and Necrozma. That's what he brings. He also has another threats like Mega Houndoom, which we had to prep for. Whereas our team is Milotic, Kieran White, Infernape, Donphan, Pythagoras, and Aerodactyl. Mega, obviously. So this battle was a while ago, but I'm pretty sure I led off with. Pythagoras because I wanted to get up a Toxic Spikes. Yeah, that's what happened. I wanted to get up at least one layer of Toxic Spikes straight away. So I knew he'd just go for a Volt Switch here or a U-turn. Either way, resisted. Not a problem for me. And then we just get our Toxic Spike up as he brings in the Mantine, so he can defog if he wants to. But at this point, I'm happy to just make that hard play into Aerodactyl, predicting that defog. But instead he goes for a Toxic. So at this point, my Aerodactyl sets, if I remember correctly, we had Stone Edge, Aerial Ace, possibly I think we had Crunch for the Necrozma, possibly. Can't remember off the top of my head, but so he switches out. He doesn't want to stay in and take a Stone Edge, as we Mega Evolve, and that's just what we went for. Did 36%, not a great amount, but decent damage, as he gets poisoned as well, which is why I wanted the Toxic Spike, just to try and keep everything lower than it would be. He Moonlights back up, so kind of back to square one really, except obviously he is poisoned, which is nice for us. I go back out into my Mega Aerodactyl as he starts Calm Minding. Now I know I can't really do that much to him, so at this point I have Haze on my Pythagoras. I thought I had Haze on my Milotic, which is why I brought it in. I thought I had Haze or Dragon Tail, but I didn't. This is the wrong set. I brought the wrong Milotic by accident. Or did I? What did I? That's right, I had Miracle. I had Miracle. I was praying, and it took it down so low. Look, 8% left after the poison, and he's just gonna Moonlight back up, unfortunately. Now I bring in Pythagoras and I can Haze, which is absolutely fine. Obviously my Milotic's a bit low. He just goes all the way back up, which is really frustrating. I get the Hex off. He's still at +1. He's probably sitting there thinking that he can just start setting up. I'm not about to let him. I now get my my Haze off, and I can Hex now. I can Hex pretty freely, predicting him to switch out though, which he does. He does go into the Mantine, so obviously doesn't take. That wouldn't take any damage from Hex, so we made that aggressive switch into Infernape. Sorry, I want to talk about that. And now that was a massive mind games there, because we did have Thunder Punch. We did have Thunder Punch. However, predicting he might have an electric kind of, you know, the electric resist berry, not resist, weakness, whatever, halving the power of an electric attack. So he would live it and then fire off a Scald and probably kill us. So I didn't want to risk that, so I just went for a U-turn, as he does go for a Scald, predicting that he could live one, as we bring Kieran in, and this crit was pretty huge, I won't lie, because not much on his team else could take an Ice Beam, or could take 2 Ice Beams, so that crit was pretty huge. So the Mantine went down there after he did get the Toxic off on us, which it's not ideal, but he does bring in I assume Scar for Heracross at this point. Goes for a close combat, no, goes for a knockoff on Donphan, gets rid of the Rindo Berry, which we ran, what did we ran that on? Oh, we ran that in a future week's battle, spoilers. But this was our Heracross answer. He goes for Necrozma as I double out back into the Pythagoras, predicting him to go out into Necrozma. Now I can get a Hex off here, but I thought no, there's no way he stays in. I thought there's no way he stays in because he doesn't live a Hex unless he goes to +1. But he decides to get his rocks up. He was prepared to sack the Necrozma, which really sucks. Really sucks because I just have to U-turn there and he can just heal straight back up. If I'd made that aggressive play, then we could have gotten rid of the Necrozma. And as you'll see, it was a massive problem just because it just kept healing up. One thing I didn't consider was PP, and this Spadef drop on Cofagrigus was huge. Spadef drop was huge, so it meant we had to go out into Milotic. As we go for a Psychic, we're able to recover that off now, I think. Oh no, because he's faster. He's faster. No, we are faster, so we recover. That's right. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But we just let him Moonlight up. He's running low on PP on it now, which I didn't necessarily think about at the time, which was my fault entirely. We just go back into Cofagrigus because we predicted start Calm Minding up again. So I just want to get rid of that as quickly as possible. I want to haze that down. Sorry, I just got interrupted, but this crit here was absolutely huge. This crit here is absolutely huge. It means that the Cofagrigus goes down. Unfortunately, this was our answer. This was the thing stopping Necrozma from setting up and running riot on us. And as I said earlier, if we did make that aggressive play, then Necrozma would be gone, and we wouldn't be having such problems with it. I bring the Kyurem, knowing that it puts pressure on his team. He brings in the Licky Licky to take an Ice Beam. I think it does about 50%. Yeah, literally bang on 50%. With leftovers and then toxic damage. I didn't want to stay in, just in case he lived. So I went hard Infernate, predicting the Wish, which he went for. And now I was very tempted to go for a close combat. Oh no, he protected. That's right, I went for a Flare Blitz. So he just gets his health back, which is it's smart play. Went for another Flare Blitz, doesn't kill unfortunately, as he goes for yet another Wish. And now I think he switches out instant Necrozma, knowing that he can take a Flare Blitz, 37%, and the Wish comes in. So just this thing is so bulky. It was really a problem for us. I had to switch out, couldn't take a Psychic. Kyurem, we go hard Kyurem just to try and force something. Didn't work out for us, and the Kyurem goes down. So at this point, I think we brought in Aerodactyl, yeah, because we did have Crunch, I believe. We did have Crunch. No, we didn't. We don't have Crunch. We don't have Crunch. See, I'm literally watching it at the same time as you. We missed the Stone Edge, obviously. He just goes for a Moonlight. And at this point, I'm just thinking, like, there's nothing I can do. I missed another Stone Edge. Go figure. He could have started Calm Minding. I guess the only reason he didn't want to would be Mirror Coat Milotic, but I don't know. At this point, all I can do is U-turn. It's not even doing that much, 23%. I just go back into Milotic now, trying to find a way through this thing. Moonlight again. He's happy to keep this thing healthy because he knows that I can't break it down. I recover just to get myself back up to full as he starts Calm Minding. I did want to be full so that I could throw off a Mirror Coat at some point. He went for a Psychic. I did predict that. And then he gets the Spadef drop on us again. Still doesn't quite take him out. He's down to 12%. That 13% with the leftovers, sorry. I have to switch out. I go hard Infernate as he Moonlights again. Yeah. As he Moonlights again, that was all I could really do. I go for another U-turn, 22%. Really, as I said, by this point I was kind of I knew the game had been lost. The crit on the Cofagrigus was huge. Just trying to work my way around it. I'd kind of forgotten about PP at this point. He just starts Calm Minding even more. As I went for a Scald, didn't quite take it out. The Psychic came in, did 44%, and then the Poison took him down to 3%, and I knew another Scald would take it out. So he was happy to let the Necrozma go down. It had done what it needed to do at that point. And he knew that Scarf Heracross could come in and just finish the game. So I switched out into Donphan. Is my physically defensive wall. Took a close combat, 36%, so I knew I could take another one, depending on the roll. I'm pretty sure that was a high roll anyway. So I knew I could take another one, 34% this time, and I went for a big old counter, reducing that differential even more. Sorry about that beeping if you heard that, by the way. That's some stupid watch I have. The Groudon comes out again. He rock polishes, like, that's fine. Earthquake does nothing to him. He's just rock polishing because he knows now that he knows the game's won. Like if it wasn't won already, like he was just making sure of it. Fire Punch comes in, takes out Donfam. I'm happy to go out into my Lotic here. Just again, the game's been lost. Another crit. I don't think it mattered, but well, it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, no. But that was the game. He went for another Fire Punch, did that speed, and that was the game. So we lost a 3-0 to Jock, and we are now 1-3. So really not the best of starts for us this season. Still trying to get to grips with our team, I think. Literally, the only mons I've used in here before are the Crepagrigus. That's it. And even then, that was back in Season 4 when I really didn't have a clue what I'm doing. Not that I do now, but still. But hopefully we'll get to grips with it. Next week we play Miticus, so a chance for us to go 2-3 there. Also a chance for us to go 1-4. So tune in. Probably upload it tomorrow, and you can see what happens then. Thank you for watching, guys. I've been Boily for Dan. Peace.